Hello adventurers, this week we are back to terrain painting and I'll be looking at Printable Scenery's Mushroom Grotto, their bundle and all these amazing 3D printable assets. Last week I showed you how to keep them nice and smooth, ready for mini painting, and this week I'm going to show you how I created these mushrooms and I'm going to show you with TTCombat paint. The reason I'm using TTCombat paint is they're exceptional for dry brushing and they are financially very affordable. These paints at the moment are marketing less than £3, which makes them on the very low end of average, yet do sustain a very high quality result. Here I'm using a heavy dry brush and I'm applying Capo Red with a downward stippling motion. With the FDM layer lines, this is the best way to get a consistent coverage without showing off those layer lines. I have made a previous small effort to cover them up, using layers of Mod Podge as well as some basic sanding. I covered all that in my last video. But this method is a surefire way of minimizing those lines for people who are either in a rush or like myself quite lazy and really don't want to actually be dealing with sanding. Today we're working on two types of mushrooms and they're both part of the giant mushroom forest set. The red ones here are the caps, and we're also going to be working on the true morels. These we're going to use Night Sea Blue. If you're wondering why I'm saying it funny, if you say it fast and on YouTube, you may get banned. So again, we're making sure we reach all of the recesses in these morels, these little pockets we've got here, as well as the layer lines. This is the easiest part of the job, and don't be afraid to work down the stalks. Later on, we are going to be blending them, so do not worry about the overflow. Going back to our red, and we're going to use Viscera Red to start highlighting the caps, and again, a downward motion in concentric circles around the model, building up those layers where we need. Focusing on the high point of the caps and the edges, we're going to give these a very natural transitional highlight. As our Mushroom Grotto and D&D Underdark is going to be very much covered in these mushrooms, I want to keep consistency. So I wanted to pick a colour scheme and a technique that would reflect on these giant mushrooms as much as the smaller ones around the rock formations of future projects. In upcoming videos, we will also be covering building a full biome of the Underdark, including its denizens. That includes myconids. Myconids are the mushroom folk in D&D. They had a very famous part in Baldur's Gate Act 1, but for us, we're going to be using some quite whimsical models in future. So I want to focus on big, bright, animated looks to these mushrooms to fit in with what will come in the future. If you do want to check those out, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I've got a fair few weeks of content, all focused on building the Underdark. At this point, if you want a stronger, brighter tone of red, just apply a more heavy stippling, but if you want to go brighter, and I assume you will, mix in some Bouillere Orange. Doing this on a gentle gradient will give us a very natural highlight while maintaining the texture of natural mushrooms. Don't worry if your work looks patchy. At the end of the day, mushrooms do not grow consistently, and I'm pretty sure they just grow out of spite. And going back to our blue morels, we're going to go to EAA Blue. This is going to be applied with a flat dry brush, and we're going to be focusing on the top side. To do that, short strokes from the base all the way up to the tip should include some nice brightness, and if you want to go further, you can mix some white in with this. Another reason I think the TTCombat paints excel is that they come very matte. So for things like mushrooms, they don't have that awkward gloss that many of the Citadel paints and the Vallejos have. Ideally, while working on the caps of these mushrooms, you want to make sure the recesses stay dark. You can always top these up at any time using the base layer, or if you want to go even darker still, mix the base layer in with some black and apply as a heavy wash. I'm showing you here are really about the shape of the mushroom more than the colours themselves. So if you wanted to change these to maybe purple or pink shades, feel free. One of the things I was considering while painting this mushroom in particular was moving into the blue-white shades and then adding a dry brush of pink or yellow. At the time I was on Twitch stream and chat talked me out of it moving into a more natural white. But that bioluminescence of the Underdark still does call to me. For those painting for high fantasy games, do not be afraid of doing that. The Underdark for D&D, Warhammer Loon Forests, they all lean into this high fantasy bioluminescent style, and I think you can make them look great. Going back to the stalk, we're going to use mummified khaki, again applied as a dry brush, and we're going to apply this heavily on the trunk and thinning out as we get to the branches. That blue we put in earlier, we are going to blend with our dry brushes. Don't forget while painting this to include the roots. I did forget several times and I had to go back and fix it. And don't worry so much about getting the curvature of the trunk. We will be giving this another coat with a different colour, and we're going to make sure that all the curves are accentuated for that weird mushroom bulbosing shapes. I used mummified khaki on both types of mushrooms, remembering to leave it darker in the recesses between branches. I'm a firm believer in showing that if you've got curves, you should be flaunting them, and I'm going to do so with crypt bone, making sure that the kind of shapely curves of each of these mushrooms are fully accentuated. Just a little side note, for anybody doing things like mummified wrappings, bone, parchment, the same combination of mummified khaki, dry brush with crypt bone, even glazing in some of the darker browns, can look exceptional. We will be bringing in some browns shortly. For this mushroom in particular, make sure you pick out the caps where you've got the strong definition. And next up is one of my favourite TTCombat paints with maybe the best name. It's Ogre Bogey Green. My daughter loves this one just for the name, and because she's a 13-year-old girl and I have the same maturity. So with our Ogre Bogey, we're going to pick out all these little blisters down the side of our capped mushrooms. For this, I've switched over to a strong pointed size 2 brush, and it does look like it will take forever, but I do promise you, it will go a lot quicker than you think. For these, I wanted to go nice and bright because when I'm doing my model photography shots, I thought the brightness in the background, even blurred here and out of focus, looked really captivating for the Underdark scene. And to make them look glossy, almost ready to burst, I'm also bringing in some of this Capri Sunshine Yellow. The trick here is to cover the top 2/3 of each blister with the Capri Sunshine Yellow. If you want to go extra far, you can put a thin streak of white to make it look really reflective. But for me in the Underdark, I don't think there's going to be that much light, so just the one coat of Capri Sunshine Yellow should be enough. I did an infill of 12% on this model, which means it's quite dense at the bottom and at the top. So when handling it, I did make some handling errors that led to mismanaged paint. I went back to the reds, topped them up, and I actually used some of the brighter red shades to edge the mushrooms. Again, mainly for photography purposes, but to stand out on the gaming table too. Using shadowing grey, I want that little bit of blue in my greys. I picked out all the rocks around the base. Now for my Underdark bases, I traditionally start with purple and build up through the greys. However, with this, I wanted the recesses to be nice and dark, so I started using the pinks and purple shades to highlight. For that, I used Patea Pink with some Anchor Blue Grey. Please don't judge me for my palette. And just like the blisters from before, we're focusing on the top 2/3 of each of these rocks, making sure we have that dark recess in between. For those wondering why I didn't just use a purple, I actually quite like the idea of an inconsistent mix for a little variation in the rocks, making those rocks look just a little bit more rocky, I guess. We're going to use ash grey to highlight the edges, making them look a little bit sharp, and a harder texture contrasting with the body of the mushroom. For those printing at lower infill, you may choose to put these on a base. For that, you could follow the exact same techniques here, but if you're using a basing texture or a sand, just apply the base layers of grey and then dry brush in all these additional colours. With such large mushrooms, I wanted to show an element of growth, so for that I used a watered down black and I covered the bottom 25% with that. This made it look like it had grown, aged, and picked up some accumulative dirt from the environment around it. Doing this, I recommend overwatering down to start with and building up your colour from the base up. It is a lot easier to apply more than it is to fix a mistake. Laying down some paper towel will save your desk a lot of trouble. So there we have it, adventurers, our very first bold steps into the Underdark, and I think these come out great under low light conditions. Now, these are only going to be part one of a multi-part project for our Underdark. We're building up vast grottos with raised areas, some tunnels, and some specialised dungeon entrances. But that's all I have for you today. Next time we will work on our grottos, so please do consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss that video. And if you are looking forward to following the series, please do consider hitting the bell icon to be notified of all my future videos. And I thank you all for giving me your time watching this video today, and to you, my patrons, a very special thank you, as only with you I can do this.